With half of the world's population on the internet, is it not strange that we never see any crowds as our cursors sail across the flat plains of our screens? Outside of chat boxes and comment sections, the internet seems empty. The ways in which we gather and express ourselves in this medium are limited by its ability to represent us and the agency that we are granted.
The internet enabled social interaction in and around previously disconnected digital assets, turning the formatting of information into the shaping of public realms. Designers and coders have gone from indexing data to building public squares, and we sleepwalked from the harmless website into the treacherous minefield of social media. As architects, we have a plural understanding of the public realm that is at once experimental, practical, and bureaucratic. How do we contribute to the shaping of emerging virtual worlds in ways that aligns with civic values of openness, inclusivity, and sustainability?
As the digital world gains a third dimension, it becomes of architectural concern, both because pages are turning into spaces, but also because digital content is emancipating from the screen and into our rooms, streets, and landscapes by virtue of immersive technologies. I am Lara Lesmes.
And I am Fredrik Hellberg, and together we run the practice Space Popular, and we teach the Civic Program. This year we will continue to work towards models of architecture for the immersive internet, now with a focus on how we gather on the internet. As digital worlds transition from flat to spatial, we need to ensure that the new architectural dimension of the internet is built respecting and serving the civic realm, and we believe that architects should take on this responsibility.
Our interest in gathering comes with special attention to the body. An avatar is the embodiment or personification of an individual, a group, and even concepts or attitudes. Also, having a body on the internet means that our scrolls turns into strolls, reshaping the space around us, physical and virtual alike.
Each and every one of us who cares about the health of the internet and its possibilities to positively impact the world needs to widen our understanding of complex underlying issues and work towards a fair and ethical digital future.
Around the world, internet shutdowns and slowdowns are on the rise. Inequalities with regards to accessibility, regulation, and surveillance are increasing, and the once granulated nature of the World Wide Web is slumping into a handful of dominant, revenue-driven tech giants who are engaged in a battle royale to own and control the immersive internet.
The attempt to try to influence these mighty forces might seem futile, but the distance between you, architects with ideas and visions for a fair, open, and fun immersive internet, and the powers at play is surprisingly short, or rather as short as we are willing to make it.
In our practice, we have found our speculative projects often being used as springboards for debate, simply because it is hard to talk about something that we cannot yet see. Similarly, your projects will serve as exemplary pieces and testing grounds for new models of civic space.
Members of the unit have been concerned with a wide range of topics as we collectively explore this emerging field of architecture.
Sky spent a year bringing together the two faces of a public institution, facade and website, and understanding how to create civic space around it, while Joy looked at how the Architectural Association as an institution could expand and open up its discourse through a so-called immersive amanuensis.
Jana gave shape to the Temple of Knowledge, a spatial learning interface that, informed by the tradition of mnemonics, aims to decolonize and pluralize our understanding of history, breaking with imposing curatorial narratives in today's museums. Tammy took on the future of tourism in all its complexity, considering environmental, economic, social, and health issues recently brought to light by the pandemic, and gave shape to an architectural and regulatory strategy for remote traveling via immersive means that would enable a new form of civic tourism.
A proposal for new forms of public participation, not dissimilar to direct democracy, was shaped by Tyler, who reconstructed the lobby and the Palace of Westminster and virtually blended it together with numerous community centres across the UK into a non-Euclidean space.
Abhinav imagined a space where the narratives that reflect our diverse and sometimes conflicting ideals and beliefs can come together while maintaining their distinct messages in a hybrid technological vessel.
The role of these projects is to shed a light on the potential threats but also opportunities that these realms might hold, raising awareness and also inspiring positive action.
The web of interconnected virtual worlds is commonly known as the Metaverse, the immersive web, or the immersive internet. A collection of virtual spaces in which to remotely gather with others and/or interact with information organized in 3D space. In simpler terms, the immersive internet is a three-dimensional iteration of the current internet. This would be a natural evolution of the current infrastructure and provide the opportunity to maintain the openness and relative decentralization of the World Wide Web.
However, in the same way in which we choose the conveniently curated and frighteningly centralized App Store, we might also choose the Metaverse as a contained product, as opposed to an open landscape of wild experimentation.
Tech giants are currently on the quest to own the Metaverse under the premise of safekeeping our privacy and protecting our data, but visibly aiming to fulfill their ever-growing commercial ambitions while claiming such spaces as public. Not different from POPs, privately owned public spaces, in the physical realm, the Metaverse as a contained product would not be able to free itself from commercially driven interest and therefore never be public in the civic sense of the word.
The immersive internet is as much the meshes and textures of its many worlds as it is the management infrastructure behind them, in the same way as the built environment is as much the bricks and mortar of our constructions as it is the socio-political organizations that civically support them.
For this reason, during this year, while we will collectively explore the myriad of ways we gather virtually, understanding what it means to embody an avatar and how we can design spaces for such bodies, we will also be looking at what is behind this.
During Term 1, we will work together on a report of the architecture and infrastructure of digital gatherings, with a twofold focus on the forms and places in which we gather and the resources behind them.
We will look for spaces and frameworks that create a sense of togetherness beyond mere communication. This will require a study of physical gathering spaces that will serve as precedents and analogies to help us understand social interaction online today and project into the possible formats of tomorrow. The projects will strongly rely on a historical grounding, both from the perspective of architecture and as well as media history.
Based on these studies, you will individually shape a context that foresees developments on immersive media, their impact on the built environment, and how gatherings might look in the future. This will be portrayed in a short film that will serve as a starting point for a design project in Term 2. The production of this film will involve building a virtual film set in an immersive real-time engine.
During Term 2, you will develop your individual design project, responding to the context established in Term 1, and consider both the physical and virtual realms.
Throughout the year, we will structure learning in different formats, providing a range wide enough to hopefully suit the different needs and preferences of each student, and to accommodate different forms of discussion, while also exploring firsthand the possibilities of remote gathering.
Discussions, seminars, and lectures organized by the unit are at the core of your learning and development, and while we will also have individual tutorials, we will continue the format of the shared tutorial where students join us in providing feedback to others throughout several sessions, as we believe teaching is possibly the best form of learning.
We will be introducing you to a wide range of digital tools that will be essential for design but also for experimental research. You can find all details in our extended brief.
We look forward to the year ahead and to meet you very soon. Thank you.